Hi everyone, welcome back to Study Knits. My name's Allie. I'm a fourth year medical student living in the US, and this is my channel where I talk all things knitting. I recently ordered a bunch of yarn from Knit Picks and from Knitting for Olive. And so I thought I would go through the yarn that I ordered to sort of finish out my summer projects. Thought I would go through it all with you guys, talk about what I'm making and like what I'm planning to make with it, and things that I considered making. I think I released it like maybe a month or so ago, my spring and summer knitting plans. I had a lot of concrete plans in that video, and then I also had a couple of garments that I wanted to make that I had more so vibes that I was after. And I got so many incredible pattern suggestions from that video in the comments. So, and I chose two sweaters and one top from the comments in the video. I compiled like some of my other favorite sweaters that people commented, sweaters and garments that people commented that I also considered making. And I'll kind of talk about those, but this is mostly just gonna be talking about my yarn that I just ordered, what I'm gonna do with it. I hope it's a pretty quick video. Let's see, this is how much I have. I have this whole box of Knit Picks, and I have, this whole bag of Knitting for Olive. I was showing this in my knitting podcast last week, and I accidentally showed my address on one of the boxes like towards the camera, and it took me like 15 minutes in Canva to like blur it out so that I could post it and people wouldn't know my address, which doesn't even matter because we're like moving in a couple weeks. Anyways, so first, let me tell you about what I'm wearing. How rude of me. This is my Sadie sweater by Ozetta. I finished this earlier this year. I think I finished it in February. And I knit this using Surella yarn, the classic DK from the Eras Tour Part 2 collection in the color Champagne Problems. It's one of my absolute favorite sweaters to wear. I love it. I'm, for whatever reason, really, really chilly inside today. And so this is like the perfect weight. It's 100% superwash merino, so I think it's a great transitional piece. I love this. It's one of my favorite things ever. Okay, now we can carry on. Okay, first up, this is not very spring summer. It has a story behind it, I promise. Okay, this is some Knitting for Olive heavy merino. Heavy merino, right? 100% merino, worsted weight for a summer project. Allie, what are you thinking? This is in the color Limestone. I don't know how well it's coming through on camera, but it is this absolutely gorgeous like white. It's mostly white with like a tint of like bluish greenish yellow gray. It reminds me of the color of what Italian ice is like a lime Italian ice is what this reminds me of. It almost looks like fluorescent, like it's kind of just giving this glow. Looks a little radioactive. So you're probably wondering, what summer garment am I going to make using heavy merino? So I'm gonna make a sweater for my mom. For context, we are going to Maine in a couple weeks as a little like graduation trip, like a med school graduation trip for me. I used to live in Maine. I love Maine. Gorgeous. So my mom and I are having lunch or dinner or something a couple weeks ago, talking about Maine. And she tells me, she's like, it's always been a dream of mine to wear a cable knit sweater on the beaches in Maine. I was like, do you want me to make you one? Like, I'll make you a cable knit sweater. I think I have time. And she was like, if you have time, that would be nice. And I was like, okay, fine. So I sent her a ton of cable knit sweater patterns on Ravelry, a lot of cable knit sweater patterns. And actually, I'll give you guys time to guess because I already swatched up. I want to say I sent her maybe like 15 screenshots of patterns, okay? This is the swatch of what she chose. Any guesses? It's the Moby Sweater by Petite Knit, which is great because I've been wanting to knit the Moby Sweater for a while. I feel like I talk about it. I've talked about it on here before in a fall inspo video, I think. I've been wanting to make it for a while, and just never got around to it for myself. And then it was also, funnily enough, kind of the simplest of the cable sweaters that I sent her. I sent her the Dagmar sweater also by Petite Knit, which I love, but that just, it looks a little more complicated. And then I sent her some Sari Nordland sweaters as well, which those are like really intricate. And then some other just random sweaters that I can't really remember. But this is the one that she chose, which is great. I think it's going to be the simplest of the ones. So the swatch has dried. I literally just finished drying. It's actually, the middle part of the cables are like a little damp still, but I think that's fine. I need to measure it, and then hopefully I'll cast this on soon. Let's see, how many of these did I buy? I want to say I bought, wait, I can check how many I bought. It logged me out of Ravelry on my iPad. Rude. I bought 11 balls of these. I'm gonna make the size medium. My mom and I wear pretty much the same size things, which is great because that means I get to make this for her, and then I get to try it on for me and see if I like it enough to make one for me. Also, I don't know if you can see, but Mary Jane, my dog, is here with me today, and she's trying to scream at somebody out the window. So we're gonna hope she doesn't do that. Honestly, my mom, my fiance, and then my college friends can pretty much ask me to make them anything, and like I'll say yes. So my mom has always been a pretty knit-worthy person. She's very, very knit-worthy. If I make something for her and don't tell her what it's gonna be, she'll love it. If she can be really great about picking things out, and she'll love it. She picked out this yarn. I sent her 2 different yarns. I can't remember the other one, but I sent her 2 different yarns, and she picked out this color like within 5 minutes. She's very like decisive, very much knows what she wants. And she was like, I want this sweater in this color. And I said, yes, ma'am, I can do that. She's always been very knit-worthy, except I also recently did like a review of my past summer knitwear, and I talked about my gray harvest tee that I made. And I was like, I'm gonna give it to my mom because I think it'll look great on her. The color doesn't look great on me. And I know she'll love it. And she was really excited to get it. I brought it to her when we had brunch, and she left it at the brunch place, and they have not been able to locate it since then. So she is pretty knit-worthy, but she did lose a sweater, that a knit top that I gave her. She's gonna be so embarrassed if she's watching this that I outed her on the internet. But all that to say, Moby Sweater by Petite Knit. I'll make the size medium, and I'll probably cast this on maybe tonight, tomorrow, this weekend. Definitely by this weekend, I'll cast this on pretty soon because I'm on a time crunch. Although someone kindly enough, it's very nice. I love the knitting community so much. I posted this on my Instagram story a couple days ago, and somebody commented and was like, oh my gosh, is that a Moby Sweater swatch? I'm making one now, and I love it. It's flying off the needles. It's so much fun to make. It's going by so fast. And I was like, that is absolutely incredible news, because I need this to go by fast. I'm on a time crunch because I want her to have this when we go to Maine. So, all right, what's next? Oh, next one's kind of boring. I mean, not really. This is Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino in the color navy blue. Gorgeous. It's just a navy blue. It's not heathered. It's very solid. It's gorgeous. I think I bought 3 of these. Yeah, I only bought 3 of these. I'm going to make a camisole number 5 with this / twist loop top. I want the pattern of the twist loop top, but the cut and the shape of the camisole number 5. That's a caveat. I'm gonna make a swatch with the twist loop top in 2x2 rib, because the twist loop top is in 3x2 rib, knit 3, purl 2, and the camisole number 5 is knit 2, purl 2. And so I'm gonna make a swatch in the knit 2, purl 2 and see how I like it, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna love it I'm not sure I'm gonna love it in the knit 2, purl 2, and I'm not sure that I'm gonna love it in the navy. I don't know if the cable pattern will just like pop, or if it'll just be kind of meh. If it's kind of meh, it's like, why would I do it? So this will be some type of camisole number 5. Camisole number 5 is by My Favorite Things Knitwear, and the twist loop top is by Other Loops. I have made both of these patterns before. I made them both last summer for the first time. The camisole number 5 is one of my most worn knitwear items ever, period. I wanted a new one and I love using them for layering, so I wanted a neutral color. At least for now, I wanted a neutral color. For my one this summer, I wanted a neutral color. Last summer, I used Knitting for Olive merino, and this summer I'm using cotton merino. I found my one from last summer to be a little too warm to wear by itself on like a day that's like over 75 degrees Fahrenheit. A bit too warm for that. So I thought I would try one in cotton merino, and I settled on this lovely navy blue color. I don't think there's anything else to say about it. Okay, this is the fun part. This is what I've been waiting for. This is the last of my Knitting for Olives, but this is Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. It's gorgeous. This is the color Olive. This is like one of my best colors to wear ever, period. I love this color. It's the perfect olive color. It is olive. I bought, I think 10 of these. Yes, I bought 10. If you remember, this is going back to my spring knitting plans video. I was really after a kind of open crochet-ish looking top that's kind of chic, elevated, not quite a beach cover-up, but something that you would wear on a yacht. Like if I were to ever go on a yacht for a yacht party or something, I would wear this type of sweater. If that makes sense to you. Not super lacy, but open work, crochet-ish, holes in it. And this is where people came through in the YouTube comments and gave me so many great recommendations. Below in the description, I'll link a lot more recommendations, but to save time, I'm only gonna talk about a couple, my favorite ones. And then I'll tell you what I decided to make with it, obviously. Okay. There's two patterns by Gregoria Fibers that I loved, that people recommended. The first is the Ingrid summer sweater. This is really great. This is a very simple, like open, like striped, but lace stripes, like little yarn over whole stripes. And I love this. I think this is gorgeous. I love how it's kind of like striped in multiple ways. You have the texture stripes and then you have like the holes. I also like how it kind of looks like, it looks very 3D. I really, really liked it. I thought it was gorgeous and I love this suggestion. Where was the other Gregoria Fibers? The Margot top by Gregoria Fibers. This is absolutely gorgeous. This went straight into my favorites. Like straight into my favorites when I saw it. It doesn't have as much of like the open, sorry, I'm looking at all of these things on my iPad. It doesn't have as much of the open, holy kind of look that I was going for, but it has some holes, some yarn overs, and I love the like textured stripes in it. I love the different textures. What is it? There's there's like 3 different texture patterns in there. And then that neck is amazing. The like wide boat neck, but it's still like a thick collar. I absolutely love this top. I would love to make this top one day. It's just not quite what I was going for this summer. Oh, I loved this suggestion. And the person that commented it was very nice and was like, I don't know if this is what you're going for. And I was like, no, I love this. The saltwater sweater by Wool and the Gang. I think this is so simple. It looks like it's crochet, but it's knitting. And I definitely feel like it's the vibe that I was going for. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous, like pretty simple, basic looking top. I love this. Very open with like a thick neck and thick sleeve cuffs and like thick ribbing. I loved this. I thought it was fun. It looks almost from afar, it looks almost basket weave-ish, but not quite basket weave-ish. I love it. Another one, there's 2 Irene Lynn patterns that people also suggested. The first one is the Rota jumper, and I believe there's also a top version of this. I love this. Again, it looks very crochet-esque, like a really nice like crisscrossy pattern, some nice open knit work. Like I love this. I love on her and on the sample, I love the 3/4 sleeves. I'm not really a fan of 3/4 sleeves. I think this would make an incredible like casual beach day top. This could like easily double as a beach cover up and like a cute little yacht sweater. I love this. The second Irene Lynn pattern is the Kylie pullover. The reason that I love this one is, at least in the sample photos, I feel like you could easily wear this in the summer and in the fall and in the spring. I love that it's cabled, and I love that it has vertical stripes. If you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I love this. I think this is gorgeous. I'm not a huge fan of a really gaping neckline, especially if I want to wear it without something underneath. That's just my personal style, but I love this. I think this teeters on the edge of being like delicate lace work, but it's not. It's not there with like the delicate lace work. I think this still looks sturdy. I think the cables give it some sturdiness. I think this is gorgeous. The last one is a crochet top, and somebody commented and was talking about this top and this sweater, and I was like, this sweater is actually what kicked off this whole quest for me, because this, in my opinion, is exactly what I was looking for, but I don't feel ready to do a whole crochet top. I have decided to dabble in granny squares this summer. More on that later. Decided to dabble in some granny squares, but I'm not ready for a full crochet garment yet. But this one that I absolutely adore, it's the Tropez sweater by Suzanne Muller from Paula Streaked. Is it the Tropez? I feel like it's supposed to be Tropez, like Saint-Tropez. I don't know why it would be the Tropez. The Tropez sweater by Suzanne Muller. This is a crochet sweater, and it is perfect. It's gorgeous. I love it. Perhaps one day I'll make it. Once I master a granny square, maybe then I'll make this, because I absolutely love this. This is what I feel like when I saw this, I was like, I want something like that, but knit. So I know you're like, oh my God, Allie, what did you decide to make with your Knitting for Olive Pure Silk? I decided to make the Lacy Loop Tee by Other Loops. This pattern was recommended a ton to me. She has a lacy loop sweater, I believe. So the lacy loop tee is suggested for 2 strands of pure silk, or 1 strand of luxury silk from Land du Nord. And then the lacy loop sweater, no, the lace loop sweater, sorry. The lace loop sweater is, what is it? A fingering and a mohair held together, but it's 2 different colors. There's colorwork stripes in the lace loop sweater, but there's garter stitch texture, like pearl bump stripes, in the lacy loop tee. So I decided to make the lacy loop tee holding 2 strands of the same yarn together. It's why I bought so much of it. And I'm just going to make the sleeves full length. Did you hear that? I'm just gonna make the sleeves full length. So it's not gonna be a t-shirt, it's going to be a sweater, and I'm so excited to make it. I'm currently making blouse number 1 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, which is also held with 2 strands of Knitting for Olive pure silk together, and I love that. I love that. It's been really fun to knit. It works up quickly, it feels great on the needles, and I love the texture that it creates. I feel like, oh, I love it. I love. So I'm really excited to make this. I know a lot of Other Loops patterns have like a ton of positive ease, like 30 centimeters of positive ease. I don't know that I want that much positive ease. So before I make this, I'll obviously swatch and then take some good measurements of myself and decide how much positive ease I want, because her sample is massive. And people say that a lot about Other Loops patterns, that there's a ton of positive ease. So I'm just gonna be careful about what size I select, making sure it's like a good amount of ease, the amount of ease that I want. Okay, that's it with the Knitting for Olive. See, it's not that much, right? So I think, okay, I went a little crazy with ordering yarn, as I do, as kind of we all do. But I'm of the opinion, like, if I'm gonna pay for shipping, I only wanna pay for shipping like once. I don't wanna make like 3 separate orders from Knitting for Olive and have to pay for shipping 3 separate times, because it's the same no matter how much you get. Same with knit picks. I was like, I don't want to pay for shipping. So I bought a lot. And going off of this, there's another yacht sweater that I want to make. People had too many good suggestions in there for me to only pick one, and there were two patterns that I fell in love with. The lacy loop tee is one of them, and the other one is the Bowden shirt by Kadri. I love Kadri. I know you're looking at it like there's no sleeves. My plan is to add sleeves, which is what somebody in the comments said. I think my big plan is to purchase the pattern, read through the pattern, and then I also think I'm gonna send Kadri an email and ask if she has any advice for adding sleeves, adjusting the pattern and all, and see if she responds. If she doesn't respond, whatever. If she responds and has great advice, sounds good. So I bought this yarn. This is Cotton from Knit Picks. It is, let's see, what is it? 70% cotton, 30% linen. I've knit with this before. I love it. I love that I'm gonna have like a shiny, look at this. This is right super matte and the pure silk is super shiny. So I love that I'm gonna have kind of like a matte white top and then a shiny green one. So that's my plan for this. Sorry, this is the color Swan, I believe. It's their kind of off-white, natural looking color. They had a stark white color that I didn't like as much. So I went with this Swan. I think it's perfect. I hope I'm able to keep it clean because I kind of looking at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna get dirty. Actually, all of my knit picks is Cotton, which is kind of, I always want to branch out with yarn and try new yarn, but I order a lot online. I'm hoping, because I'm moving to New York in a couple weeks, like New York City, and I hope that having like a lot of yarn shops around there, I'll be more inclined to go look at yarn in person. But I do just get kind of scared buying a large quantity of yarn that I don't know how it feels, how it wears, if I like it. Gives me pause. So that's why I'm pretty inclined to stick to yarn that I know, especially for a garment that's going to be directly on the skin, like a summer garment. All that to say, that's just justifying why I buy a lot of the same yarn. Okay, I think that's it with my yacht sweaters. That's what I'll be calling them from now on, so just get used to that. So the next one, oh my gosh. I talked about this in my spring and summer knitting plans. There has been absolutely no change to this. This is Cotton, again, in the color Hydrangea. Oh yeah, Hydrangea, it says so right there. This is the color Hydrangea, this gorgeous, it's a Williams blue, because if you don't know, I'm a huge F1 fan, and this is Williams colors, and I'm going to the Montreal Grand Prix this year, and I have to have something Williams to wear. So I'm going to make the Sport Tee by Park Williams using this. I can't remember how much of this I bought. I bought eight of these. And how much did I buy? I bought 12 of these. Sorry, going back. I wasn't sure how much I would need since I'm adding sleeves to something that doesn't have sleeves. So I can't remember how I arrived at 12, but that's what I arrived at. So 12 of these, 8 of these. This is, I think, my only t-shirt plan for this summer, which is fine. I'm quite excited to make this. I think this will be a great project to make. I gotta get on it. And then I have one more left, one more yarn to talk about. This is more Cotton. This is the color Linen. I bought 10 of these. This is another thing that the people of YouTube were incredible with helping me about. My fiance last year, he showed me this crochet looking Abercrombie shirt that he really liked. And I said I could probably knit you something like that. So people gave so many great suggestions for tops that are similar. There's one that I settled on, but there's a couple that I really liked. The first one is the Umbria top, Umbria summer top by Cookie the Knitter. This is gorgeous. This is raglan, and it just looks a little, the raglan makes it look a little feminine. And since this is for my fiance, I didn't want to give him a feminine looking shirt, but this top is gorgeous. This is absolutely gorgeous. A couple of people recommended this, and I can see why, because it's a pretty similar, like crochet-ish looking button-down collared shirt. So a great suggestion. Let's see the other one. This one is probably the most similar to the reference picture that I had. This is the Coachella Valley button-up by Janine Miska. This is a crochet top. Maybe next year I'll crochet, maybe not. Maybe I'll never crochet, we'll see. This is like, I feel like almost exactly like what I showed. I think this is gorgeous. I think this is perfect. I just didn't want to crochet. But it's so cute. I'm looking at it again on Ravelry, and now I'm like, what is, well, I mean, this is DK. I could change my mind and decide to crochet a top instead of knit. Because the more I look at this, the more I'm like, this is exactly what I was after. We'll see. Probably not though, probably not. Oh yes, there's one that is currently in testing. It's the Whiskey Sour shirt by Max the Knitter. It was really, really cute. Somebody commented it and I was like this close to applying for the test knit. Like, oh, just in case I get it. It's really cute. It's really cute, but I sent it to my fiance. I sent him the Whiskey Sour shirt and then the one that I'd already picked out and said, which one would you prefer? And he picked the other one. So I said, okay, we'll do that. Okay, so again, what did I decide to make him? Again, thanks to the great people of YouTube, I decided to go with the Tuileries Polo by Sumin Kim with some modifications, okay? Because this is knitting, calls for a sport weight. And obviously I have DK weight, so just a little bit of gauge suggestion, like a little bit of tweaking of the gauge. That's what I'll be doing. And then making it, instead of a polo, making it an all the way down kind of button up cardigan-ish short sleeve shirt. But looking at it, I think it's really great. I think it's kind of like, it's very subtle. It's a very subtle pattern. It's not as like in your face as like a chunky crochet or a chunky like lace knitted thing. Oh, I think it's so cute. So I will be making that using this Kotlin. Again, he picked out the color and he helped me pick out the design. I showed him a bunch of different options that people sent, and this was the one he liked the best. Eyelets, that's what they're called. I really wish I would have remembered the word for eyelet at the beginning of this video instead of calling them little knitting holes. I think it looks a little delicate. The sample photos look a little delicate, but I think using chunky, no, it's not chunky, but using a sturdy, very flat, matte cotton linen yarn will make it look less delicate, if that makes sense. I will just need to do some gauge math, but that's, I guess, the theme of my summer is adjusting patterns to fit my gauge. And I'm gonna get really good at it by the end of the summer, so. All right, and I think that is it for this video. I feel like this was a pretty short video, which is incredible for me because I'm very long-winded. If you've watched any of my other videos before, I'm incredibly long-winded. So this feels like it was short and I was pretty to the point, and for that, I'm really proud of me. So let me know if you've made any of these patterns. Let me know what's in your queue for this summer. If you like any of these yarns, if you don't like any of these yarns, let me know what you're working on. And I hope you're getting excited for summer, spring knits if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, and excited for fall, winter knits if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. Hope you're getting some new things cast on for your upcoming season. And thank you guys, as always, so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.